Yo, what's going on today, guys? It is Sam, better known as Samito. Welcome back to the channel today for the ultimate Mei guide, the most slept-on character in Overwatch 2. Secretly super good, and the devs have talked about potentially buffing her even more. I was able to hit rank 13 this season on Mei and top 20 on another account as well. So I've had two accounts in top 20. Like a 62% win rate on this account, like a 70 plus on my other one. It's been insane. So I'm going to give you guys the Mei secrets and tell you all some things about this character that you might not know. So if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Let's break it down. How to play Mei for the rank 1 Mei on ladder in North America. Let's do it. So little secret to start. What I did as Mei, and this helped me aim way better, is I swapped my primary fire and my secondary fire. So when Mei defaults, this freeze is on your normal shoot button and this shot is on your right click, right? Or your secondary fire. I swapped it so that my primary fire is my icicle and my freeze is my right click. And the reason why I've done that is because your muscle memory, right? Like, you want to be able to tap into your muscle memory with aiming, and it's just more precise when you're left clicking and it feels better. I will warn you now, this inverts your wall mechanics and you can't change it. So now to wall, it's actually my right click or my secondary fire instead of my primary. It takes a little while to get used to it, but after like a couple hours of playing, like, you get it down very easy. So let's now break down Mei's abilities. Okay, so her icicle, her primary fire, a couple things about it. It actually has a faster projectile speed than Hanzo, a sniper, by 5 meters a second. So Mei, you know, her projectile speed is like one of the fastest in the game, meaning it's more consistent, it's easier to hit shots at range. Also, it has no fall-off damage, right? So it'll do 150 in the head, meaning from any range, if you hit a headshot, you can one-shot a tracer. If I could hit the headshot, LOL. You one-shot tracers, and if you're damage boosted, you actually one-shot Widowmakers in the head, and you can do this from any range. So it makes Mei a credible threat from a distance, especially if you get good at hitting some shots, right? You can do a lot of damage from a distance, so very easy to aim those. Her second ability is her freeze, which no longer freezes people solid, so people think it's bad, but it's really not. Mei's freeze does 100 damage a second to anybody it's hitting. It also pierces targets, right? So for just 2 seconds, freezing somebody, they die. It's very important that when you get up close to people that you just come up and freeze them. It's pretty easy. It also, if I'm not mistaken, slows targets slightly. I'm pretty sure it does because they get this little purple little thing on their feet. Look at their feet. Ready? See that? The purple on her character's toes. That means she's slowed, right? So it also slows enemies while you do this, and it's piercing. It goes through Diva DM. It goes through Orisa's Spear, right? There are tons of abilities that it pierces, and it also does good damage whilst doing that. So it actually is a very strong ability, and you want to use it when you get up close and personal. Next up is Mei's Cryo Freeze, which makes her invulnerable to damage, and it heals up to 200 health. So you see how the 34 HP for this max duration, I finished at 235. So it'll heal me 200 health, but also it has a very weird way of interacting with the map. It counts as a wall, which means that you can block pulse bombs with it for your teammates. You can block diva bombs, but also if you actually use it in between you and like a BAP lamp, it blocks your teammates' line of sight. So you have to be careful because you can actually get your teammates killed by doing that. You can use it to block Junker Queen ult. If you're in a corner, you can block Rhine Charge. Like, you physically become an entity or a barrier, which is very useful for a lot of tech. Like I said, blocking Pulse Bomb, blocking High Noon. Nobody can shoot through it. You can like kind of shield for your teammate and block damage. That's at Mei's skill ceiling though. And her next ability is obviously her Ice Wall. You use it to block people off, isolate targets who are out of position, and walk up and freeze them. And generally you want to cycle that cooldown with your ice block. So basically, if you've used your wall to make an aggressive play, you want to wait for your wall to break before you use your ice block, and then go into your ice block. 3, 2, 1. Look at my wall cooldown. Ready? It's already almost back. So you want to like not use those cooldowns at the same time and use one to stall for the other. So don't go aggressive with your wall if you don't have your ice block ready to get you out of bad situations. Last up, that leaves Mei's Blizzard, which is a projectile that you have to throw, and it will freeze enemies in a giant spear. So take a look at this. Ready? So I use my Blizzard. This is how it normally freezes people. It does like 25 damage a second. But if you want to actually freeze someone faster, you can freeze them faster by stacking your regular freeze effect with the Blizzard. So as I build my ultimate up really, really fast, Blizzard also being one of the faster ults to build in the game. It is much faster to build a Blizzard than a lot of other ults. Ready? So look, now if I toss it here as I'm freezing somebody, they actually are going to freeze even faster than the normal blizzard would. As you can see, that guy froze first. So you can actually stack the effects. So whenever you get somebody in a blizzard, you want to be freezing them so that they actually freeze faster. And another note with Maze Freeze, it's actually a projectile. As you can see, look at how delayed the spin is. So it's kind of weird to line it up, but you kind of have to lead it a little bit when it gets to its maximum range. So like that's why it might seem like you're not freezing somebody. It's not hit scan. It's technically like a little bit of a projectile that you have to get right up on top of somebody and lead a little bit. So yeah, those are all of May's abilities, and now I'm going to go into a game and explain to you how you actually want to be using them. Okay, so let's talk about May. I already briefly mentioned how you want to cycle your wall and your ice block, right? But generally, walling tanks is really, really good, right? Wall the tank. Walk up, you can try to freeze them, right? Use your ice block to stall, but you always want to ice block in a spot where you can consistently walk out. Now, if they have a Doom, you know, walling Doom is not that great, but May is great into matchups like Genji, as you can see right here, because I can just freeze him and pierce his deflect, right? He wants to dash at me, I can just use my ice block and survive. I just play slow, I don't have to force. So now that my ice block's down, I'm playing slow until it comes back. Poking out a little bit on this side. I can look to wall myself in. I see the Widow here who's going to grapple up, and I'm just going to wait for it, just freeze her. Play slow, freeze the Genji now, and he can't even do anything to me, right? And I just sit on the high ground, poke them out. Very easy to headshot with May compared to other projectile heroes because she's just got so much, right? She's got so much projectile speed, it's like easier to land. So yeah, if this Doom comes up though and wants to try anything crazy, I can wall him in and block his punch. Other than that, I'm going to try to respect the Widow. I can wall the Widow lines of sight, and if they had an Ana, I could wall off the line of sight between their Ana and their tank, meaning their tank can't get healed, and he wouldn't know it. Right, so let's see. Ready? Their Doom's in. He's going to punch him this way. And now I'm going to wall these guys right here. And look, they're just stuck. There's nothing they can do. I still have my ice block. He's going to punch me in a second. It's not going to matter. And I just wall them and I sit there and freeze them. Like, they're just stuck. They can't do what they want to do. I hear the Widowmaker over here. I got to be careful of her. She's going to grapple. And you know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to wall her in because she's used her grapple hook already. And then she's going to die. Now I just set back up and wait for my next hit of cooldown. So against their comp, Blizzard can be kind of tough, right? Because again, Doomfist is super mobile. You know, you don't need to go for these massive Blizzards. The key thing is to just get a target, like get a kill, right? So their Widow is swapped to Reaper, so I can try to force his fade and then look for the Blizzard after the fact. But let's see here. He's gonna drop. The Genji's in here. Now let's see. The Zen's down here, ready? And I'm just gonna freeze him right now. Stack the freeze effect. He's just dead. Nothing he can do. I confirm the kill. I'm gonna have to play very slow, waiting for my ice block. It's okay if he gets res, and look what happens. You're gonna chase me. I'm just gonna wall myself off, and unfortunately, I should have walled the other way. My Kiri and my Ana should have been able to heal me out there. So I get a little greedy. He punches me out of position, and what I should have done is I should have walled myself up in the air to get away, get in my Ana's line of sight, right? But we already got enough on the front end to force so many resources on us there that my team's won the fight. Like, at that point, it doesn't matter. Like, they can commit on me as much as they want. My team would have won that fight, but unfortunately, my soldier staggers very early. So, now we head back. They've swapped a Hog, which is very, very good for me. I actually could do an enormous amount of damage to Roadhog. But now, as we get up some room here, and they have a Hog, I'm going to play him at range, right? Because May actually is good at poke. Again, her projectile speed is good. Her headshot damage is a lot. You can just do a quick little two-tap like that. Keep your crosshair locked at the headshot level. Just kind of shoot, right? You can actually wall reses up too. So but in order to do that, you have to like wall the Mercy that's standing and it pushes her up in the air. We're gonna freeze this guy to force his fade. He's gonna Wraith and I'm just gonna chill. If he has no Wraith, I'm just gonna drop on him and just keep freezing him. Get a quick little two-tap. Unfortunately, we do not have a defensive ult for the Dragon Blade, which means I could have saved Blizzard for it, but we do get 2 quick kills there. And May Freezing Kitsune does like 150 a second. Yeah, 150 damage a second, which is insane. Like a Reaper's, Cassidy's health is 225. Ana's health is 200, right? I kill her in a second and a half. So we're gonna wall this Hog and we're just gonna freeze him. Consistent damage. Nothing he can do. Wall him, freeze him, save my ice block in case I get low. And he is just dead. And so is this Genji now as well. So we just kind of walk forward here. And May kind of has this bad reputation for some reason now, because she used to be a corny hero when her freeze just froze you solid and it was kind of brainless, right? But now you actually have to be very smart with the character. So I have a free Blizzard on the Hog. He'll probably be the one I look to get. Maybe their Genji as well or their Brig. And you're not getting out, pal. I'm gonna ice block. Oh no, this is a lost fight. This is not bueno. We're gonna hide behind the counter. Nothing we can do there, right? Nothing we can do there. The Reaper Blossom my back line. So, okay. What am I looking for? And what you guys need to keep paying attention to is you all need to keep paying attention to how I'm using my cooldowns, right? I'm almost never stacking them at once. And when I have to stack them at once, usually that means I'm in a bad position, right? And I usually end up dying. But I'm looking for the hog, get an easy isolation on him. Especially in low ranks, if you isolate somebody and focus fire them, like it's pretty free. So look, ready? I'm going to blindside Blizzard. There's no way they all walked up. Oh my god, they all walked up. Who does that? They just walked into my Blizzard. So at high level play, they won't do that, right? They'll back off the wall knowing I have Blizzard, which means I blindside Blizzard. That's a cool little Blizzard tech that we have. His Brig just gets absolutely rolled by me. It's so funny. I'm just going to freeze him. Freeze actually does more damage than regular body shot Mei. It's like the only time, so like when you can freeze somebody, you should, unless you absolutely have to headshot them, because the headshot does the 150, right? But the body shot does, I think it's like 80 or something. Like it's not a lot of damage, and the freeze, if you're in freeze range, is 100. So you always want to be looking to freeze. So let's see here. It was a bad Blizzard on my part. I tried to show you guys some cool Blizzard tech that's just way too advanced for what I need to be showing you all right now. We get the headshot on the Reaper. See, we force his Wraith. Wall him, almost caught him there. Ideally, I wall right here, and then he's just stuck with his Wraith. He can't get out, right? There's a break here. I'm going to just freeze her shield because it breaks really fast. I can bait this Genji to me. I'm going to wall him. Yeah, he's going to be slowed. He can't do anything. Look at this. He just can't do anything. I'm going to wall the hog. He's stuck. Look, he can't move. He's literally stuck. And that's what you can do as Mei, that displacement, right? Like looking for walls like that and cycling your ice block and everything else. It's like even my teammates are making fun of him for it. So now we have the Blizzard, right? I'm probably just gonna Blizzard the hog. It's a free kill. So that's a good look from us. Ana somehow dies. Unfortunately, we're gonna wait for this hog to come up again. These walls on choke points are really good as I'm gonna wall this Reaper. Who blossoms my... I don't know, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, my Ana just died before that fight. So there's nothing to really say. You can't, if you lose a support that early, please don't stagger. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh. He's doing the one thing that loses us this fight, and that's staggering. He just needs to get out cleanly and stall the point, because right now he can't stall the point, and we're just going to lose. Let's see if I can force the Reaper bend. Just go to my ice block. Wall behind, drop the Blizzard. That's going to freeze the hog. We're going to kill the hog. Again, we remember we stack the effect, right? And then that's quick and easy right there. Genji is such a great freeze target because his deflect doesn't work. And that's Mei, guys. It really is that simple. Look for walls, alternate those ice blocks, and just consistently freeze when you can. When you need to poke, go ahead and just kind of lock your crosshair at headshot level and just kind of just poke. And make sure you flip those keybinds too. It's really, really basic. But those are the basics of Mei that lets you put in enormous amounts of damage, right? And honestly, like, you don't have to really put out an enormous damage for 10 as Mei. It's more about the isolation and final blows. As you can see, look, I'm just denying these guys. Look at this hog. He can't even play the game. He's just dead there. He can't do anything. So that's the basics of Mei. It's all about that disruption. So look to disrupt with those cooldowns, catch people off, freeze them if you can, use your ice block to bail you out of bad situations, and always be in a spot with after your ice block that you can walk back to your team. That's the beginner's Mei guide. It's very, very simple. Mei's a very bare bones character, but once you learn how to master those things, dude, she gets so, so good. So thank you for watching. Hit that sub button if you're new, and I'll see y'all next time. Enjoy Mei on the ladder. Peace.